Expertise. Engagement brings expertise to our policy development process. The stakeholder engagement team conducts detailed, iterative research to identify top subject matter experts in civil society and academia. It then gathers their views to inform our policy decisions. This engagement ensures that our policy-making process is informed by current theories and analysis, empirical research, and an understanding of the latest online trends. The expertise we gather includes issues of language, social identity, and geography, all of which bear on our policies in important ways. Facebook's policies are entwined with many complex social and technological issues, such as hate speech, terrorism, bullying and harassment, and threats of violence. Sometimes we're looking for guidance on how safety and voice should be balanced. For example, in considering what types of speech to allow about public figures under our policies. In other cases, we're reaching out to gain specialized knowledge, such as how our policies can draw on international human rights principles, or how minority communities may experience certain types of speech. We don't have all the answers to address these problems on our platform. Sometimes the challenges we face are novel even to the experts we consult with. But by talking to outside experts and incorporating their feedback, we make our policies more thoughtful. For example, over the past year and a half, we've modified our hate speech policy to recognize 3 tiers of attacks. Tier 1, the most severe, involves calls of violence or dehumanizing speech against other people based on their race, ethnicity, nationality, gender, or other protected characteristic. Kill the Christians. Tier 2, attacks consisting of statements of inferiority or expressions of contempt or disgust. Mexicans are lazy. And Tier 3 covers calls to exclude or segregate. No women allowed. Developing these tiers has made our policies more nuanced and precise. On the basis of the tiers, we're able to provide additional protections against the most harmful forms of speech. For instance, we now remove Tier 1 hate speech directed against immigrants. Immigrants are rats, but permit less intense forms of speech. Immigrants should stay out of our country, to leave room for broad political discourse. As part of our work, we spoke to outside experts, academics, NGOs that study hate speech, and groups all across the political landscape. This engagement helped confirm that the tiers were comprehensive and aligned with patterns of online and offline behavior. We'll continue to consider adjustments to our policies in light of opinions from experts and civil society. Transparency. Engagement makes our policies and our policy development process more transparent. Given the impact of our community standards on society, it's critical for us to create a policy development process that's not only inclusive and based on expert knowledge, but also transparent. We know from talking to hundreds of stakeholders that opening up our policy-making process helps build trust. The more visibility we provide, the more our stakeholders are likely to view the community standards as relevant, legitimate, and based on consent. When we engage, we share details about the challenges of moderating content for 2.7 billion people, and we explain the rationale behind our policies and why there may be a need for improvement. We gather stakeholder feedback so that we can develop creative policy solutions to these problems. The policies we launch based on this process are still owned by Facebook, but they are stronger by virtue of having been tested through consultation and an exchange of views.